When No Rest for the Wicked launched in Steam Early Access in April 2024, it marked a major shift for Moon Studios. Known for the Ori series, the studio was now tackling a brutal, systems-driven action RPG with Souls-inspired combat, deep loot progression, and a dark, painterly world.
It's too late for any of us.
The foundation was promising, but like many early access releases, the game was still clearly a work in progress. Performance issues, balance problems, and missing features made it clear that this was only the starting point. Since then, Moon Studios has spent the last 2 years steadily reshaping No Rest for the Wicked through frequent patches, major content drops, and large-scale system updates. From expanded in-game content to massive world additions, repeated overhauls to core systems like loot and progression, and even the eventual arrival of 4-player co-op, the game today plays very differently from its original early access launch. So whether you've been waiting for more content or have yet to give it a go, this video will catch you up on everything added to No Rest for the Wicked since its early access launch. No Rest for the Wicked entered Steam Early Access on April 18, 2024, launching with its core single-player campaign, stamina-based combat, handcrafted environments, and an early version of its in-game systems. Almost immediately, Moon Studios began releasing rapid updates aimed at stabilizing the experience. These early patches focused on improving performance, fixing crashes, and addressing balance issues across combat, enemies, durability, stamina usage, and early game difficulty spikes. While none of these updates dramatically changed how the game worked, they were critical in making the early access version more stable and playable, laying the groundwork for the much larger system changes that would follow. The first major step forward arrived in Patch 2 in late May 2024, a mere month after the early access launch. This update added several requested features that significantly improved how players engaged with the game's systems. For the first time, players could respec their characters, making experimentation with different builds far less punishing. Weapon tryout was also introduced, allowing players to test weapons before committing valuable resources. Patch 2 also marked the beginning of broader itemization and economy tuning, with adjustments to durability costs, loot drops, and progression pacing designed to reduce early frustration and make build paths clearer. On the technical side, this update added DLSS and FSR upscaling support, improving performance across a wider range of PC hardware, alongside expanded controller remapping and general polish to animations, audio, and combat feel. Patch 2 marked the moment when No Rest for the Wicked began to feel more flexible and player-friendly without compromising its challenge. The Crucible update represented the first major content expansion for No Rest for the Wicked. This update reworked the Serum Crucible into a much more robust in-game activity, expanding into a full roguelite-style challenge mode. Dungeon layouts were enlarged and redesigned, new enemy types, the Gloam, were introduced, and progression systems were added to give Crucible runs more variety and replayability. The update also introduced a new vendor, the Seneschal, tied specifically to Crucible progression, giving players clearer incentives to engage with the mode long-term. Alongside the new content, balance adjustments continued across builds and loot rewards, reinforcing the Crucible as the game's first true, long-term, in-game loop beyond the campaign. This patch is also when No Rest for the Wicked became Steam Deck verified, allowing players to smoothly take their adventures on the go. Nearly a year after early access launch, Moon Studios released The Breach, described by Moon Studios as the biggest update in No Rest for the Wicked's history. The Breach significantly expanded the game's scope. New areas were added, the world was substantially expanded, and additional story content pushed the narrative forward. Alongside these additions, The Breach introduced major system changes that altered how players approached combat, exploration, progression, and loot. Enemy behavior, difficulty curves, and item balance were reworked to better support longer play sessions and more specialized builds, while changes to checkpoints, traversal flow, and world state persistence made exploration feel more cohesive and less punishing. The scale of the breach was large enough that Moon Studios openly recommended players start fresh characters to fully experience the update as intended, going so far as moving the old saves to a Crucible legacy system.
You will need to replay No Rest for the Wicked to fully experience this update. Old saves remain in a legacy build, but this approach ensures the breach is integrated as seamlessly as possible into the game.
For many players, this update felt less like a patch and more like a soft relaunch of the game's early access version. This patch also gave Nvidia graphics card owners access to DLSS 4, allowing them to experience all the new content with higher frames and improved image quality. Following the breach, Moon Studios released The Breach Refined, a dedicated update focused on balance, polish, and quality of life improvements. This update addressed feedback around difficulty spikes, enemy behavior, progression pacing, and loot readability introduced by the previous expansion. Combat encounters were adjusted, systems were clarified, and overall balance was improved to better support a wide range of playstyles. Rather than adding new content, The Breach Refined focused on smoothing rough edges and bringing the expanded version of the game closer to Moon Studios' long-term vision. The most recent major update arrived with Together, which fundamentally changed how No Rest for the Wicked could be played. For the first time, the game introduced full online cooperative play for up to 4 players. Players can now explore the world together in shared realms, with enemy behavior, loot, and combat scaling dynamically to account for group play. Alongside co-op, the update included additional gameplay refinements and system adjustments designed to support multiplayer without undermining the game's deliberate high-stakes combat. Building on earlier changes to world state persistent and progression systems, Together transformed No Rest for the Wicked from a strictly single-player experience into something far more social and flexible.
Let's create those memories together.
As of early 2026, No Rest for the Wicked has grown significantly beyond its early access launch state. Through steady patches, major expansions, ongoing system reworks, and the addition of co-op, Moon Studios has continued to expand and refine the game while remaining in early access. While a full 1.0 release is still ahead, the game now offers a deeper world, more refined systems, a stronger endgame, and more ways to play than ever before. For more on No Rest for the Wicked, including guides and ongoing coverage of its development, be sure to head on over to IGN.com. And as always, stick with IGN for everything gaming.